Hey guys, how's it going? It's the Terrible Shrimp here, and welcome back to another video. Now, yes, I'm doing an actual commentary this time. I know, it's amazing. Your ears are probably having an orgasm right now. But anyways, let's get right into the topic of this video, which is World of Warships closed beta. Now, Wargaming has allowed everyone to make videos on it, to stream it. You've probably been, seeing it on Twitch everywhere, seeing it on YouTube. There's awesome YouTubers like iChase out there who you should definitely check out. He makes awesome tutorials and stuff like that. And if you want to play the game yourself, you can apply for the beta or get codes. But anyways, so the topic of today's video is going to be, well, sort of like my first impressions of the game. Now, I've been playing the game for quite a long time. I played it in the closed beta, well, in a beta weekend. I'm not actually allowed to talk about that. Anything that was under NDA is still under NDA, so I can't talk about my previous experience. I can only talk about my experience during the closed beta, which is now not under NDA. I'm going to be coming at you guys with a impression from the cruiser line of the Americans. Now, if you guys don't know, in the game there are currently American cruisers, destroyers, and no battleships. However, they get carriers. Now, the Japanese, they get battleships. So they get like the Yamato, which is really, really, really awesome, because the Yamato was like, well, not necessarily the best battleship in the during the Second World War. It was sunk really fast, unfortunately, after it launched. But it was definitely one of the more powerful and really one of the more epic ones. If you get to see it in game or in any pictures, it just looks freakishly awesome. Anyways, I'm coming at you guys from a cruiser perspective, because I'm more of a, I don't know, I'm sort of a brawler player, and the battleships are just a little too slow and too heavy for me. You know, sort of like, I don't know, I'll make a comparison to like World of Warcraft, right? I don't like playing tanks tanks in World of Warcraft either. I like dealing damage. I'm more of a DPS player, so I usually played like a Ret Pally, right? If you guys played World of Warcraft, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Ret Pally suck now, I think. I haven't played World of Warcraft in a while. But I like playing cruisers. I like going full broadside on people and brawling and stuff like that. So, how are cruisers in the game? Well, cruisers are pretty fun. They're a little underpowered right now. They definitely get one-shot by battleships, which is a little bit interesting. I mean, obviously this game is an arcadey game, so I mean, it's like a mix between arcade and sim, right? Obviously, if you made it super realistic, one single shell could take out a ship. That's obviously not what's happening in these games. You have to hit a ship with multiple shells. It's just almost nearly impossible to get a one-hit kill with a cruiser, like if you're, say, battling another cruiser with a single shell. However, with a full volley, which depending on the cruiser you have, could be 12 shells, could be 6 shells, could be 3 shells, it's definitely possible to get a kill. The aiming in the game is fairly simplistic. It's sort of, you don't get a lead indicator, you just have to, well, kind of lead by, usually you fire like a test shot, and then you figure out, you'll see that in the gameplay in the background, you'll see me kind of test shooting here and there, and then missing, and then adjusting. It's really fairly simple. It's kind of, I mean, I don't want to sound too, like, down, but it's pretty much just point and click. I mean, obviously, there's a little bit more strategy to it than just point and click, but once you get the gist of it, it's pretty much point and click. Yeah, that's that. Really, there's not much more to the actual gameplay. Is fairly fun. I mean, you obviously have to have some strategy. You can't just go in and brawl. My problem is the cruisers, because so I come from a very aggressive background, right? I'm mainly a Call of Duty player, an FPS player. I'd like to think of myself as being fairly good in those games. So usually what I do is, with the clan or teammates at my back, I just kind of rush in and go for it, right? And I just try to get as many kills as possible, and I die, and I don't go on many streaks. I don't get nukes or, tactical DNA bombs or shit like that. However, yeah, I usually get my kills here and there, and it's fun for me. In this game, you absolutely cannot do that. You cannot rush in this game. You see where at the bottom left there's like a little speed indicator. You can go, 1/4 speed, 1/2, 3/4, or full speed. I found out that the best way to not die in this game is just go 3/4 speed or 1/2 speed. If you go full speed, especially in a cruiser, which gets up to 34, 36 knots, yeah, you're going to die. You do not want to go fast, because the role of the cruiser in World of Warships, I know I'm sort of jumping around topics here, but I'm just, I don't know, super excited and super hyped for some reason. The role of the cruiser in World of Warships is sort of be like that pesky mosquito that you just really want to get rid of, and an AA boat, right? I mean, the cruiser, it doesn't deal enough damage to battleships to really be effective against it. I have, I don't know. I think there's some gameplay somewhere where it's me and 3 or 2 other cruisers versus 1 battleship, and it takes us like a full 5 minutes just to whittle it down and kill it, and by the end of the 5 minutes, I'm the only one surviving. Based off of that example, yeah, cruisers aren't supposed to fight battleships. I mean, that's how it was in real life. Battleships are supposed to fight battleships. And against battleships, I mean, you have that sort of triangle, right? So battleships kill cruisers and other battleships. Cruisers kill destroyers and aircraft. Destroyers kill battleships and potentially cruisers with torpedoes. That's a whole other topic, though. But anyway, so... yeah, the cruiser, basically, you want to stick by your aircraft carriers. You want to stick by your battleships. You basically want to play the role of AA and support. You can kill other cruisers real easily in this game. If you know where the crit spots are, because have you ever played like World of Tanks or War Thunder Ground Forces, you'll know that there are crit spots. And they've sort of tried to emulate that in this game as well. And what you can hit are magazines and I believe it's like fuel or something like that. I don't know, it's a little bit wonky and they don't tell you exactly where it is. But basically, if you aim under the turrets at the waterline or if you aim under the smokestacks, you can hit you can get crit hits or quote-unquote citadel hits. And those can deal quite a lot of damage. So as a cruiser, what you want to do is you want to hit destroyers, which are, little fast, nimble boats, and they just run around throwing torpedoes at everyone. A exorbitant amount of torpedoes. It's actually pretty crazy. I mean, sometimes you can't even get away from the torpedoes. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to have nightmares from that little beep, 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 beep. Because it's just, oh my gosh, it's just so crazy. And then if you have carriers in the game and the high-level gameplay, it's just holy crap, it's way too many torpedoes. But that's a topic for a whole nother video. So anyways, yeah, as a cruiser, you're supposed to sort of just, stick with your mates. You're not supposed to go out on your own at all. I can't believe I just said mates. I'm not even Australian. I'm probably the furthest away from Australian. Well, not really, actually. But, yeah, and so overall impressions for this game are, it is fun. It is fucking addicting. When I played the closed beta for that weekend, or I keep saying closed beta, when I played the beta weekend, I could not get away from my computer. I literally was like, just... I canceled all plans and I just played the beta weekend. Unfortunately, it was just for a weekend, so I couldn't, I couldn't really level up much, but whatever, And then the closed beta came out, and I was like, oh, yes, I'm going to apply this. Now, what's cool is if you were in the closed beta weekends, then you were automatically in the closed beta. Gosh, I keep getting those mixed up. It's really stupid, the naming, Wargaming. Work on it. You got closed beta and you got beta weekends, but they were technically also closed betas. Anyways, so yeah, if you can get your hands on this game, please do. I will play with you. But this game is awesome. It's addicting. It's fun. It does need some balancing. For instance, like I said, torpedoes. You may see some torpedoes in this video, actually. They have way too many torpedoes in games. The cruisers are also a little bit weak compared to what's out there. I mean, you can die to 2 to 3 good torpedo hits, which you usually will get hit at least 2 to 3 times with torpedoes if you're a bad player. Now, there are some skills which you can train, and obviously you can train your captains. You can upgrade your ship to be able to turn faster and turn into torpedoes or away, but it's not really the same thing. And just the hit points. They don't have a lot of hit points, so you can actually, at the beginning of the game, battleships have really far range, right? Their cannons can go really far, like cross-map kind of stuff. They can't 360 no-scope because the turrets are too slow, but hey, you can always try. So at the beginning of the game, I've had it a couple times where I'm just, da-da-da-da-da-da, and my little cruiser, full health, 34,000 health, and then boom, just one volley of a battleship, and wham, I'm dead. That's obviously no fun whatsoever. So I think there's definitely some, well, I wouldn't say that's an issue per se, but it's definitely a little odd, and it just ruins the fun for everyone when you get one hit like that. But hey, it is a battleship game. Technically, in real life, if your battleship got hit in the deck or in the magazine or, some miniature explosive part, it would just be dead in one hit. So, yeah. Also, the cruisers have a weird tier system. So, from the American cruisers, the Japanese have cruisers as well, but they're even weaker in terms of guns. So, the philosophy of the Americans changed later throughout World War II, and they took all torpedoes off their cruisers. So early cruisers for the Americans had torpedoes up until Tier 5, and then Tier 6 and upwards has no torpedoes. But they just replace them with guns. Now, what's interesting is, I think in the gameplay that I'm going to show, I'm playing the Cleveland-class ship, which has 12 guns, so can shoot 12 shells, which at quite a fast fire rate, so it can dish out a lot of DPS. Now, the 2 ranks above that sure the gun caliber is bigger. It goes from, I believe, 157mm to 208mm, which is quite a difference, but the fire rate is a lot slower and you have a lot less guns, so technically the DPS is lower. Sure, you can get more one-hits on other cruisers or destroyers, but versus, say, a battleship or versus just another cruiser of your own size is actually not that good. So there needs to be some tier balancing or some sort of like change to the armaments or something like that, but it's definitely it's getting there. It's getting there. I think that once wargaming really figures out, you know, from all its data that's collecting in the closed beta, what it's going to do, then I think it's going to be a fantastic game. What I personally am waiting for, and which I'm a little sad about, is the Germans. They don't have, you know, I like to be a little bit patriotic, and you know, as you guys know or may not know, I am German. I'm from Cologne originally. So I would love to play the Germans, especially the German battleships, the Bismarck and the Tirpitz. I mean, those were really the most advanced battleships of their time. Unfortunately, those were sunk as well. I don't think they ever did much, ever. But they were definitely pretty crazy battleships back in World War II. And I think those would be really awesome to play. Now, I know they teased them, so those should be coming pretty soon. But, yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think of the game? Have you guys watched a lot of Twitch streamers? Have you guys seen some YouTube videos? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And if you guys have the game, you know, let me know in the comments what your in-game name is. I'll add you, and we should get some games in. I thank everyone for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. And my name is Phil, or Lieutenant Warships, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.